Hey guys, and welcome to Nomadic Dmitry channel. Today we're actually going to talk about something very interesting, and this topic is running Windows 95 in a window. It's basically like in a typical window on your Mac machine. I mean, it's not actually only Mac, but it's also Linux and it's also Windows. So this is an interesting project. So you can see I'm going to provide the link in the description down below. Basically Windows 95 in Electron, which means basically it's Windows 95 running in JavaScript window. It's basically JavaScript plus binaries of Windows 95, and basically this guy Felix, basically he combined those together and he basically allows you to run Windows 95 in this JavaScript window, which is super cool. If you take a look at the GitHub repository and scroll down a little bit, you will see the download links right here. Basically installers of standalone zip files for Mac, and also like for Intel, for M1 processor, and it's also for Linux, for different platforms. It's not just Intel, it's basically ARM as well, which is super cool, I think. And for Mac, actually in the previous episode I discussed how to install this one using the package manager called HomeBrew. So it's very easy to get this one. So I mean, I just got this one using the HomeBrew. Let's actually explore it a little bit. So in the sources, if we go to the source folder, if you go to main, for example, and if you see the main, it's basically JavaScript plus Electron framework, which means those applications are cross-platform, but at the same time they're not super fast, they're quite slow. And actually this is the example of this Windows 95 app as well. So let's go ahead and run this one. So when we open it, we can see the Windows 95 window right here. So there are two options available on the settings tab: mounting a floppy disk. You know guys, in the 90s everything was on floppy drive, so you can install software, you can install games, whatever you want, and you can also totally reset the state. It's basically just returning to default snapshot like in the virtual machines, right? So basically erases everything, erases your layer of data, and basically goes back to default state. And you can also boot from scratch. Boot from scratch basically means just gonna boot the whole UI from scratch. It's like booting the BIOS and all those kind of stages. So I typically boot from scratch. Before doing that, let's actually go ahead and see C drive. Everything here, basically it's all running in one file, which is basically image file C drive. If you want to check this out, just press this button right here. As you can see, the image is located right here. So basically it's in an applications folder and basically the Windows 95 image. If we want to mount this image, we just double click it like typically on Mac for the images. And if we explore the image itself, it's basically all the data that you find on the Windows kind of environment, basically, right? Windows, program files, and games. There's actually a few games right here. I don't know why, probably just provided by this user. Admin, not sure what admin is, basically some admin tools right here. Windows, yeah, and basically all the Windows directory right here we can explore. And you can of course add your own directories. For example, in this case I just added the install folder right here, which is with some applications. So let's actually go ahead and boot. If we press boot from scratch, it's going to take a while to basically boot everything from scratch. Of course, if something was wrong with the disk, it's basically going to run a scan disk. We can skip it basically. Should be able to skip it, yes, exit. Alright, so it should press any key to start Windows. Oh my gosh, I mean the FAT file system was, you remember guys, it was so horrible. Basically every single time you just shut off your computer incorrectly, everything was just like corrupted and the data was corrupt and stuff like this. So it was not that great experience. Alright guys, so it's booted, but as you can see it's quite slow. I mean, it's still loading something, and it's Windows 95, it should be like instant, but it's not. So yeah, I mean, that kind of experience is not the greatest for like playing games and things like this, but maybe running some simple programs is just fine. You can open like Notepad, for example, and as you can see it's, I don't know, it's kind of slow. Yeah, it's kind of slow. What else can we open here? I mean, just typical Windows 95 stuff. Oh my gosh, it's so slow right now. Programs, let's see what's here. So yeah, there's some additional applications shipped with this distro. Distro, yeah, I can call it distro. So WordPad, multimedia, and all the typical stuff in the games. Of course, what games are interested here? Of course, the Minesweeper, yeah, for sure. Yeah, and the typical stuff. Ding, 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 ding. Alright, okay, that's enough. As you can see, it's kind of slow because it's all JavaScript, but at the same time you can just still explore it. Oh my gosh, guys, I mean, I just still remember all those Windows 95 times. I mean, for me, as a kid, I remember it was so powerful. I mean, so many stuff can be running from here. I mean, comparing to Windows 3.x, right, 3.11, for example, it was much more advanced. There was so many more applications available, and it was just like feeling like a real experience. I mean, I even watched movies on this one, like if you remember the video CDs, games. Great memories it brings to me. Can you use this one actually practically? Probably not. Probably just to play around a little bit, just to understand how it works. Maybe run some simple games. Maybe just open some old documents. Maybe some very simple stuff. But yeah, I mean, you can try it. You can explore it. You can also contribute to this one, I think. It's basically a great way of experiencing how Windows 95 was back in those days. And you don't need to install anything. It's just basically just like one application. You can always delete it. So which is always a great plus when you can just like completely remove it like in one shot. That's it. Alright guys, thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. There'll be more videos and see you soon. Oh, by the way, to actually eject your cursor out of the window, you need to press escape key. Boom. Alright, so basically quit this window. And also guys, I have the BitChute channel as well, not just YouTube. So just in case, if you want, please subscribe to this one as well. I'm gonna provide link down in the description below just to have some backup plan, just in case, I don't know. Alright guys, thank you.